What's up, print fam? Welcome back to the print shop. We are here on a not so warm Saturday morning. I met with the electrician because we're talking about the power that we need to move to be able to get everything over in the condensed corner. So he was here, talked about some stuff that we're going to do, so I'm really excited to move forward with that. He's coming next Saturday to run the wires, so that will be great. Now, the other thing, I had a question come in through Facebook Messenger. By the way, that's not the best way to reach me. Best way to reach me is just posting a comment in the Facebook group, because unless you already have connection with me, then I don't always see the requests. So the best way, if you want to make sure I see it, post in the Facebook group and tag me or send me an email. But I wanted to cover my interpretation, and it was funny because I said I would help, but I'm self-taught, and the response was, well, I'm Darren taught. So it made me chuckle, but it made me happy at the same time. So I'm going to show you the issue, and I'm going to show you kind of how I take care of it. So I'm going to turn screen recorder on, and let's get into it. All right, we're back. We got the screen sharing on. Let me show you the issue and kind of ways that I remedy it. So we've got the file in here that we want to add a cut contour to. So you file import, but go to effects, cut contour, and you can see we have it on contour mode, but it's putting a square around it. So typically I find when this is happening, it's because there is a hidden layer. So we'll just click out so it cancels that. Usually you have to, yep, right there, unmask. So then it makes a big chunky box around it. Delete that. Sometimes you have to select again. You can sometimes find another mask. In this case, there is not. Let's actually zoom out so we can get the whole thing. Since now we ungrouped it, it's no longer together. But if we get the whole thing, effects, cut contour, you can now see it's actually going around every individual piece. So if we change it to extend, you can start to see that it is merging into a single piece rather than going around every single shape. So that's one way to compat it. Now, if we look at the original file here, is this the original? No, this is not the original. Here is the original. If we look at the original file, what was done was we put in a single line, a single stroke, and Flexi should actually recognize this. Sometimes what I see people do is they only name the layer. They don't name the cut path. And you have to make sure you name the cut path, because the cut path is what Flexi will determine. So theoretically, if we actually open this other file, you can see that it's off right here. But if we come in to our print menu, which now production manager is going to have to load, so it's going to take a second. We should, wow, it should have loaded a cut path, but it did not. Let me do some digging for a second. I figured it out. It's named wrong. So it's not contour cut, it is cut contour. So the easiest way to understand what the verbiage is if you take a file, go to effects, cut contour. If you look at the design menu and look at the spot colors, this is what they are. So you have cut contour 1, 2, 3, and perf cut contour. So I usually use cut contour for kiss cutting, and then I use the perf cut contour for through cutting. So in this case, the issue is that this spot color is called contour cut instead of cut contour. If this was named cut contour, like the example that I have here, then it would automatically load in Flexi. So that is the biggest issue with the original file. But then again, the secondary file that I had, the big issue was that there was a mask. And so Flexi determines that the mask is the area, and so that's what it wants to cut around. So hope that helps. Again, cut contour, not contour cut, and it should load. So let's just try it. Let's see if it will let me. I'm not super familiar with spot colors. I usually cheat. There we go. I usually cheat. And the way that I cheat is I'm just make all of the different versions and I save that so that I can open it in Illustrator. But theoretically, we now have the no cut line that I screwed up on. I need to do it on the with cut line. Amateur mistake. Cut contour. Let's save that file. It's either really big or really slow at saving. There we go. Now let's delete both of these guys. We're going to re-import it. And theoretically, if we come now here to the print menu, let's save it as a new name. See? Self-taught. I screw up. Let's try again. Let's just do a new board. Import. New. Cut menu. There we go. For whatever reason, it didn't like it. So we'll keep rip. We can now see that we've got the cut menu. And it shows the correct color that you had in Illustrator of being that. So that way you can set, if you have multiple cuts, you can set what type of knife you want to use for each one. I usually make my cut paths in Flexi just because I feel like it's faster and easier. But yes, so it was named wrong, so it wasn't loading in Illustrator. And again, the other way that I do it is I will just make, so instead I'll do no fill. Oh, you guys can't see that. I'll do no fill instead of fill. So I'll do no fill and I'll add a border and I'll make it these contour lines, because then I can take these contour lines and put them into Illustrator and it puts it in the board. So if I'm wanting to have Illustrator do it, then that's how I do it. So I did have the electrician come by, like I said earlier. My son's currently roaming around the shop cleaning up. He wanted to come to work today. I'm going to work on some personal projects. My wife wants me to print some family photos, so I'm going to get that done. But that's about it for today's video. We're doing cleaning, and I'm going to print some family photos. But I hope that helps. Again, to recap, if you're having trouble with shapes, you usually have a mask. If you're importing a cut line, you probably have it named wrong, or you don't have it as a spot color. And you can always just make them in Flexi. So, hope that helps. If you have a better way to do it, please post it down in the comments. Make your own video, share it, talk about it in the Facebook group. Again, I'm self-taught, and apparently a lot of people are Darren taught. So, I'm sorry, but have a great Saturday, and we'll see you next week.